Okay. I want to talk about two things specifically today. Well, maybe three now. I'm bored, but I don't feel like making the One Piece review because it's a little more work and effort, so I can make it tomorrow, and it'll be up tomorrow. So I want to make this video because this is something going on in my head. Okay, I live in Tennessee. If you don't know where Tennessee is, find it on a map. The other day, we got a little bit of snow here, which we do get snow, but we don't get like feet and feet of snow. You know, so I'm sure a lot of people, I live in Minnesota, it's snow all the time. Yeah, okay, I understand that. But here in Tennessee, because we don't get much snow, people don't know how to drive in snow. People don't have equipment that would be helpful in snow. No matter how good you are driving, you could hit a piece of ice or a little slippery slope, and if you don't have good tires or a good car, it doesn't matter. Like sometimes I can't get out of my apartments because there's a big hill, and I have a rear-wheel drive vehicle, so it doesn't really get up as well. Like I can try to make it, but whatever. That's a long story short. It wasn't that bad. I got home, whatever. But the people at work, where I work, like, we were, like, no business the night it was, like, snowing and shit, but they wouldn't close down at all. We had to stay open till close. We didn't have any business. They probably lost money, but yet they wouldn't close. And I'm like, why the fuck are you staying open and losing money and also taking more chances that your people that work for you will not be able to get home safely? You know, it's like... And then they're bitching about people like calling out if they can't make it in. You know, if you work in my industry, you would know that people call out for all kinds of different reasons. And some people call out just because they don't want to come to work. Now, sometimes there are things that you can't control. Like if your family member dies or something like that, or your car's broke or something like that. Now, not to give a fuck about your people is beyond me, and even people who couldn't make it got people to pick up their shift or whatever for them, and they still want to be attitude about it. And I don't know what the fucking deal is with that. That shit just kind of pisses me off. So yeah. But yeah, what do y'all think? Is working some rinky-dink job more important than your safety? You know. Also, how do y'all feel when you send someone a text message and they don't ever respond? Now, I have to control myself because I have to realize that sometimes, like, they could be somewhere at work and they don't get it, you know what I'm saying? So you don't, because I've had the same thing, but I always respond back, especially if it's something worth responding to. Now, sometimes, a text message isn't, but if you ask a specific question, wouldn't you be, expecting an answer back? What's the deal with that? Why don't people respond sometimes? I mean, it's been, I just have to, but I don't want to be the person that's like, oh, just spam on text messages if they don't respond, because it would depend on the time. Like, if it was like 2 in the morning, I sent somebody a text message and they didn't respond till the next day, fair enough. But, they could be at work or something like that. So I have to, but, does it irritate anyone else? It's just like, you send a text message, like, boom, 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 put your phone down. No. It's like, I guess it's this our way, we don't want instant gratification. You're like, respond. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, maybe they're busy or they're driving or something, they can't respond right now. And you're like, whatever. A couple hours, a little bit later, you're like, let's see, maybe I didn't hear it. Nope, no text message. Go do some stuff. Oh, I come back, no text message. And then you're like, ooh, who text me? Oh, not from some stupid school clothes thing that I had to get rid of. But is that just me being like overtly paranoid about shit? Or is it just that, like, you know what I'm saying? Is it just that you just need to be like, what the fuck and fuck it? And I'm like that most of the time. But like certain things like this, they like annoy me. Because if someone sends me something, I usually want to respond to it. I even try to respond to a lot of people on YouTube, which is a little even more difficult for me to do. And if you sent me emails on YouTube, most of the time I send them back if it's something worth responding to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm like somebody like this guy. I got 100,000 emails. You know what I'm saying? And that might be a little different. But, I mean, someone you send a text message to, you kind of consider a friend or a relative or whatever, you would think that would be something that would respond back more than, say, if I sent an email to Sexy Phil or some, big time YouTuber or, something like that, and I didn't get a response back. Okay, it probably wouldn't bother me as much. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Is there something wrong with me? I think this video's got long. So the title of this video will have been called Snow and Texts. And, just give me your opinions about how messed up in the head I am about that. And if I ever get the text message, somebody responds to the message I sent, I will put it up in the comments and say how long it took them. And maybe they'll have an excuse. But, that's too much expecting of people. I don't like to do that, but then I can't help it. It goes over in my brain. All right, that's enough to go. Take it easy, and I'll have my One Piece reviews up tomorrow and shit like that. Bye.